McGinnis here from Motorsport Videos, a new edition of In Focus. As you can see, Rick Pinkney here. Hey Rick, how's it going?
Still going good.
Alright, bonus. Okay, on today's show, we've got 3 new topics to discuss. Put us on the clock. First thing coming up is we're going to talk a little bit about refereeing, and we're going to talk about slip-outs. I think there's so many misconceptions about slip-outs out there. Let's try and bring it into some sort of order.
I think the biggest problem people don't understand is it doesn't matter where that slip-out happens. It matters how that slip-out happened. It depends on the positioning of your fingers on your opponent's hand.
So all this talk about slip-out and losing position.
There's no such thing in WAF, no such in CAWF, IFA. Okay. No such thing as slip-out in a losing position. So when a slip-out happens, the referee has to look for 3 specific things.
Okay.
As far as your fingers are going. How are the fingers positioned on the back of the hand? Are your fingers wide open?
Right.
You're causing a slip-out.
Okay.
Did you close your hand like that, which is one of the...
So we call balling
under, creating a fist. As soon as your fingers are closed, you're not holding on anymore. Okay. So if that slip-out happens, you're at fault. You're getting dinged for it. And the third one is, if you knife your hand underneath and you go like this, you're causing a slip out. So if your hand is coming underneath like this, so if you watch the hand and people are going like this, if people want to do a slip out, some people are really good and they can bail really quick, get it done, and they're good at it. Professional slip out, we call it. And it goes to straps. People that aren't good at it go down like this and their hands wide open, they're getting dinged for the causing the slip out. So that's the 3 things you want to look for is the positioning. If you have your fingers just curled in like this, you're good. The minute they open up like this,
you're still holding on.
You're still holding on. As long as your fingers are curled in some, you're still trying to attempt to hold on to the grip.
Okay.
So as long as you've got that, you're good. And it doesn't matter. I could be an inch from the pin line. If I'm down here, my fingers are curled in, and a slip out happens, it's straps.
Okay.
That's what you got to remember. Forget about where it happens. It's what caused the slip out. So it doesn't matter if I'm an inch from winning or an inch from losing. It could be straps depending on the position of the fingers. So that's the one thing the referee's always watching for is how the fingers are positioned on the back of a person's hand. Are they positioned on the back of the thing? Did they open up and make a big finger walk when the slip? If the guy's hand's wide open, you can just let go, and this guy's I'm getting dinged for it. If you and I are pulling, my hand opens up like this, you can basically just bail. But my hand's open, so I'm getting the foul for it.
Okay, so a few years ago in Nova Scotia, we started the UAC Ultimate Arm Wrestling Championships, and all slip-outs went to straps.
Yeah.
Do the same thing in the Battle of the Atlantic Championships down here. How do you feel about that idea?
You know what? It's good until people start taking advantage of it. And that's what I mean, that like they could be down like that and just go like this and just bail right out of there. That drives me nuts.
Okay, like the WAL.
WAL. Yeah, you're allowed to just bail out at any point. You know what? If that's the rules, that's fine. But as a referee, I don't like seeing that. A guy just being able to just bail out.
But doesn't it take it takes the call away from the referees?
Yep.
To me, it's almost a no-brainer. Because not all referees are created equal.
That's true. But
no brainer. Slip, let's go to straps. Come on, I want the pullers to decide, not the referee.
Yeah, but I've already basically, I'm beating you.
Yeah.
So now you're just going to bail because you think you just want another chance. So you're bailing out. You could be an inch from the pin line, and you're just going to bail right out of that match, and you get a second crack at it. Nah.
Yeah, okay, you know what? And we differ on this. Just put them in straps.
Now.
I don't care.
Yeah, I know, but I don't like that because, you just took away from that guy that should have won that match. He shouldn't have, you shouldn't be able to bail out in the losing position. If you're going to bail, make it good. If you're good, like I said, a professional slip, go for it.
Okay.
Then we'll put you in straps. But if you're really bad at it, sorry, you're going to lose that match. You deserve to lose that match because you were so poor at friggin' being an actor.
An actor, yeah.
You know what? If you're a good slip-out artist, and a lot of people are, you see it all the time. I know 100% that you intentionally slipped out, but you were so good at it, I have to put you in the straps. Because you had your fingers in there and you made it look good, I'm putting you in the straps. Good job.
couple names come to mind if we're talking about slip outs. Travis Bajan.
Oh,
Travis
yeah.
likes the straps.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. He's freaking unbeatable in the
Yeah.
straps.
George Zakowicz.
Yeah.
George likes the straps.
Yeah.
Right?
But again, keep that hand in the right position and you'll get those straps.
So what if you got two guys and you know both guys are balling up to let go?
Yeah. Well, then you're going to put them in straps because they're both causing it.
Okay.
So then you'll, and I've seen that. Basically, they're just holding on with their thumbs. Both hands are closed like this, and they're both pulling back like this. Or both guys are both riding so high, and the hands come apart so fast you don't see it. So you're going to go to straps anyway. Because you have to be sure of what caused it. That is the important part when it comes to straps. I have to be sure that you let go, that you bailed. If there's the least bit of doubt, I've got to put you in straps. So if you're really good at causing that slip out, well, then you're going to end up in straps anyway.
Okay, and then I will stick up for the referees on this part. The referees don't have the luxury of instant replay. So you're sitting way back with your phone and you've watched that 4 times before you run up to the referee and say, he bailed, look, look, look. Well, the referee doesn't have that luxury.
No.
That happens in 1/1000th of a second.
Yeah.
Make your call.
Oh, yeah. And not to mention, a lot of times those hands are flying at you when they slip out.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay.
And a couple of quick things.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I sprained my thumb at the championship in the Zloty because I couldn't get my hand out of there fast enough.
Only you could sprain your thumb.
Oh, I know,
Not
trying to
pulling.
come like this. But then on the other hand, Judy was trying to get her hand out fast enough. She smashed Buddy in the face, caused his nose to bloody. We had to stop the match. Buddy's nose is bleeding.
She hit the arm wrestler.
She hit the nose. And I'm like, holy crap. Caused a protest.
That caused a protest.
Because it took a long, we had to get the medics up to help stop the bleeding out of this guy's nose. He was bleeding like a stuffed pig.
Well, but there's the blood issue. It has to be stopped because of the blood issue.
Well, yeah, but he didn't think, he thought Buddy had too much of a time off and he lost the protest. I mean, you can protest whatever you want if you get enough money. But anyway, so that was kind of funny. But,
Okay, that's good.
But no, like I said, if you're a good enough slip out artist, you'll get in the straps. Like you said, Travis, there's lots of guys out there that are very good at getting in the straps. And you know they're intentionally slipping out, but they're either fast enough or they do it in the right way that they're going to get in the straps. Some people think they're good, but then they get caught. So I go to slip out, and the guy's got a really good grip on me because he doesn't want to slip out, and I'm doing one of these. So right away, my hand's out wide open. He's clamped on the back of my hand, and I'm doing this. Well, you're caught red-handed right then and there. And that happens so much. So, you know, it's kind of fun to watch when you see guys that are really good at that, and you go, yeah, that was a good one. You know what I mean? You know, and as a referee, you still want, people think we like calling fouls and that. You don't. You want to see the arm wrestlers win. The same as, you know, people talk about the little elbow fouls and that. You know, same thing. You don't want to call them.
Where do you draw the line? There has to be a line somewhere.
And arm wrestlers will take advantage, man. Give them a millimeter, they'll take 6 inches.
Yeah, well, what's the old saying? If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Yeah, yeah.
And they will try and take advantage, and of course they will. Take advantage of whatever you can at the table to get the victory.
Yeah.
But, okay, so we're good on slip outs?
I'm good on slip outs.
Okay. Next topic that we're going to discuss, we're going to go right into it right away. King's move.
King's move.
Okay.
All over the internet. Everybody loves it or hates it.
That's right. I'm going to go with the position that I don't mind the King's move as long as they're actually arm wrestling within the rules. Sometimes people are saying that they're always in a losing position. Well, no, he's not in a losing position if you watch. And I think you're doing whatever you can to win the match. You look at Devin.
Oh, yeah.
Devin's doing what he can to win the match.
Absolutely.
Michael Todd is doing what Michael Todd has to do to win the match. George Zakowicz is doing what he has to win the match. It may be ugly,
but you know what?
I like it.
But George never got down that low. When you look at a lot of George's matches, very seldom did his shoulder ever drop below the table.
No, for the most part, he stayed up.
His shoulder was, I mean, it was borderline, but his shoulder was still, he would be here like this. So, you know, the pad would be about here. And actually in IFA, we go by the pad, not the tabletop.
So that neutral to losing, you have to be above.
Okay.
The elbow pad?
Now in IFA,
Yeah.
our neutral position is actually in between the pads, below the pin pad.
Okay.
There's starting position,
Yeah.
like if I'm pulling, lose position, winning position. That's it. Your neutral position's down here. If we had short arms and you get two guys in the hook, they're right down. They're below the pin line, but they're within that area between the elbow pads. That's a neutral position. You can't win in there. You can't win. You can't lose. That's a neutral position. Below the pin pad and between the pads.
Okay.
So then you've just got, from your straight up position, you have to be in the winning position to drop down below the table.
Okay.
For your shoulder to drop down below the, elbow pad.
So it's not the tabletop in the IFA.
It's the elbow pad.
The top of the elbow pad.
Top of the elbow pad. So then what we look for is the position of the arm.
Yep.
So if the arm's like this, you're fine. As soon as it goes on a downward slope,
Yep.
now you're down below the pin pad.
Okay.
So that's what we're looking, or the elbow pad. That's what we're looking for. You're just looking at the slope of the arm on the downward slope, away from the elbow pad, and then you're into King's move.
Okay. So what everybody's watching right now is the WAL.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of guys are doing it. Michael Todd doing the King's move. Yay or nay?
If it's allowed, yay. If it's not allowed, nay. I'm not a fan. I don't like watching it.
Yep.
I don't like watching, especially when both guys are doing it. Sorry, Devin, Michael. Looks bad when both guys, if one guy's doing it, it's one thing, but when both guys are down below the table, I cringe.
Well, I mean, you watch a match like Jerry Caderet and Michael Todd for the WAL.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Now that was different. That was, Michael's down below there, but Jerry's right over top of it. That was kind of exciting. But when both guys are doing it, it's like, where'd they go?
Devin and Dave Chafee.
I didn't expect that at all.
Well, I didn't expect that from Dave.
Yeah.
Not one bit. But it is ugly. It's ugly.
The only problem I have with it in the WAL is the rules don't allow it. So if you're going to allow it, take it out of your rules. Simple as that. Just take it out of your rules. That way people can't say you're not following the rules. Like they blame Bert. Well, it's not really Bert's fault because they don't want it called. Just take it out.
I think Bert is calling what Bert is supposed to be calling according to the WAL management.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't blame Bert for this. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's stuck between that the management wants him to let these matches go, and some of the spectators that are calling him the worst referee on the face of the earth. So he's kind of stuck. Doesn't matter which way he goes, he's getting shit from somebody. It doesn't matter. So, he's just stuck in the middle. You got to feel for him there.
It is. You know what? And I try and watch most of the WAL shows, and Bert and Bert's wife and Frank Bean.
Yeah.
So those are their team of three, and I don't think that it helps them. They're trying to make calls, but I don't think it helps them as referees and how they look.
No. Oh, no. And that's the thing, you know what? And as a referee, just give me the guidelines you want me to go by, and everybody knows what the guidelines are.
Yeah.
So if you're out in TV land watching, this is allowed. So you can't shit on me for not calling it because it's allowed.
Because it's allowed.
Take it out of just take it out of the rules and everything will be fine. And then Bert won't get shit on all the time for this and that.
Well, although Bert's going to get shit on.
Well, every referee does.
Yeah, if you take anything out of the rules, someone's going to get shit on.
Well, it's the same as most referees, People sit back, they don't know the rules, and they're going to shit on you for making a call that's in the rules. So, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Me, I don't really care. If I make a bad call, I care.
Yes.
But if I made a call that's within the rules, you go ahead and shit on me. I could care less. Here's the rule. Go ahead.
It's because I just attended, and you guys held a referees
seminar,
And some guys that have been around for years and years and years and years refereeing, and there's still all kinds of errors.
Yeah, people just have a hard. I think it's just because they don't have enough experience refereeing, and people think refereeing is an easy job, and it's not. It's it's pretty stressful up there. When guys are giving you a hard time, and especially if you haven't had a lot of experience, it's really hard on your head when people are messing around, and and as I'll tell you, I've gone to tournaments refereed, and I've gone to tournaments and pulled, and I'll tell you, I feel a lot fresher going home after competing than I did refereeing, because you get up there, you arm wrestle, you go sit down, you wait for your next match. Well, you're refereeing, you're up there all damn day, and it's one match after another, and just two more guys shitting on you about this or that or the other thing. So it's a pretty stressful job, because like I said, you're up there all day long. People shitting on you, giving you a hard time, complaining about the other guy. Not that arm wrestlers ever complain, but
Yeah, no.
no, never happens. But so it's like I said, stuck between a rock and a hard place for somebody like Bart. I said, the IFA, we've rewritten all the rules. We sat down and we debated a lot of these things, and we rewrote them, and we're going to keep rewriting them to explain things, because you figure 30 years ago, 40 years ago, the rules were on a sheet of paper. That was it. Now it's getting thicker and thicker, and now we're going to keep explaining things better and putting everything in more detail all the time. So eventually, just like any sport, you're always going to come across things that happen that you didn't cover in the rules. Well, now you're going to have a new rule. So eventually, your rule book is going to be, an inch thick.
Because the complaint out there really is, again, we'll go back to the WAF, and that there's too much referee involvement, and they try and watch a tournament, and the matches that keep getting stopped and stopped and stopped and stopped. So are we being too strict?
But where do you draw the line?
Well, I'm not really sure.
Well, and that's the problem. You know what? I always like the idea of giving that person a little bump,
Mm-hmm.
But a bump turns into an inch, turns into 2 inches, 3 inches, and it's, like I said, you give an arm wrestler a centimeter, they're taking a mile every time.
Well, for sure. So here in Canada and Nova Scotia, Nova Scotia follows the CAWF referee guidelines. But we've created these couple of different things, Battle of the Atlantic, for example, where the rules are altered a little bit. Small elbow bumps are allowed.
Yeah.
All slip outs go to straps.
Yeah.
So how does that?
How
is it working? You like it?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
It works fine, because nobody's taking it to the limit. You know what I mean? They're not, we're allowing the little elbow fouls, so it's working okay. But then you get in other spots, and, mainly because you've only got 1 or 2 referees refereeing down here.
Yep.
Whereas, when you're going to a Worlds, you've got, 20 different referees from all different places of the world, so it's hard to get everybody trained the exact same way, so everybody's thinking, because you don't want to have a call made on you on one table and then it backfire on you on the next match because you had a different referee in.
Okay.
Your opponent might do something one time.
Keep going. Finish that thought.
Your opponent might do something and get away with it. You do it the next match and you don't get away with it because you have a different referee from another part of the world. And I'm not saying one part of the world is better than any other part. It's just that how people were trained, and that's what you run into is, just too many different referees. When you've only got a couple of referees, it's very easy to let little things go.
It's very easy for the puller to adjust to that referee because this is the way they call things.
Absolutely.
So one more question I have for you on refereeing, and then we'll wrap up this subject, is in the WAL, what I actually like is after the 30 seconds, they just put them in straps. Set grip in straps. No, there isn't a minute and a half, 2 minutes of guys trying to get grip, because we know what happens. Some referees are a lot more lenient than others.
Yeah.
And this one is the time's up, straps, set grip, let's go.
Yeah.
I actually like that.
I would like to see an actual timer. like we just did here. Timer right on it. Bang, your 30 seconds is up. In a way, that's good, but in a way, it's not, because I've seen times where, you know what, I know 15 seconds in. There's no way these guys are getting a grip. I might as well put them in referee's grip now. Other times, you could be 30 seconds and you know they're going to get a grip. So you don't mind going a little bit beyond it, because you know, okay, I've just about got it. I'm going to give these guys a few extra seconds and let them go without having to, okay, now I'm going to stop. And then you get the chance of giving somebody a foul for moving in the referee's grip and stuff like that. So.
Okay. All right, and that wraps up this segment. And we'll be back in just a minute. And we're back again, segment 3 and the final segment of today's show. Upcoming, is it in 2020? The Aboriginal Games.
July 15th or something like that, right around there.
And where are the Aboriginal Games being taken place?
In Halifax.
In Halifax?
Yep.
Different venues?
It's all over the city.
Okay.
All over the city, yeah. The various sports, all over the city.
Okay, so arm wrestling is taking place within the Aboriginal Games.
First time ever.
Okay, and how did this come about?
Through Trevor Senepass. He was working with some people, and I think I don't know if they saw the show that was showed on Aboriginal television or not, but
Arm Nation, that's what we're
Arm
talking
Nation.
about, yeah.
Yep. I don't know if they saw that and it kind of inspired them, but I mean, Arm Nation definitely inspired a lot of Aboriginal arm wrestlers to get into it, which has been fantastic for arm wrestling in Canada.
Sure.
I think we really missed the boat all these years. We had Aboriginal arm wrestlers over the years.
Just a few here and there.
Here and there, we were just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
Well, now we're starting to see, like, Aboriginal arm wrestlers love arm wrestling, and we love seeing them coming into the sport. And, you're seeing, like the kids that we took away to the IFA championships, like Liam Johnson and Dre Denny. They're big time into it and are loving every bit of it. And, and we've got several more. Like I said, Trevor Senepass has been in it for a long, long time. And then you work your way right out west, where Manitoba is just doing phenomenal. The Sutherland family out there, I can't say enough about what they're doing in Manitoba and building the sport in their Aboriginal communities out there. And it's a cheap sport to get into. I mean, yeah, of course, once you start traveling, it gets a little more expensive. But that's any sport. But actually, just to get into the sport, it's cheap to do. Basically, you don't need a big gym and all this equipment. Arm wrestling, as anybody has been into, is more about natural strength and building that tendon strength. And you don't need a big gym to do that. You go out and you start cutting wood and, throwing rocks around, and you
can build that strength. But George Zakowicz would run around the neighborhood with rocks
neighbors'
and
kids.
A wheelbarrow, rolling the kids on top of it, right?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But so, Arm Nation, the TV series, did a great job of showcasing Aboriginal arm wrestling.
Yep.
Right across the country.
Absolutely.
And bringing to light people are active in their community, what they have going on in their community, and arm wrestling is just one of the things that they do.
Yeah, and like I said, and that's really opened everybody's eyes to this. And like I said, for me, it was like, holy smokes, this was great. We got all these new people coming into the sport, and now these different communities go, all we need is an arm wrestling table. And we can start, bringing in people, all we got to do is start teaching people how to arm wrestle.
Okay. So Trevor Senepass has got arm wrestling introduced into the Aboriginal game. So that's going to be a tournament?
It's going to be the different provinces, the states, but this is the North American Aboriginal Games. There's people coming from all over North America. This is the largest event ever in Halifax. Sporting event ever in Halifax. 5,000 athletes.
Cool.
5,000. So that's going to be really great. Nova Scotia is going to whoop everybody, so there's no worries there.
Okay. We're going to hold you to that.
Yeah. They got a good coach.
Okay. So Trevor initiated this.
Yep.
Got involved.
And then we had a meeting here a few weeks before Christmas. I went in and Trevor and I were in, and we had a meeting with all the people involved in the North American Aboriginal Games. and we had an arm wrestling table set up there, and we spoke and we talked about how we're going to do it. We're going to have different divisions, just like any tournament, and it's all for the youth, basically under 21.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, that's what it's all aimed for.
Okay.
And at first we were going to be in a building in Dalhousie, and now they decided they're going to put us on the main stage in the Center Commons on the main stage. Going to run Thursday, and I think then they'll do the finals like a Friday night type thing.
Really?
So this is they're excited about it. We're excited. Oh, man, I'm ecstatic about this. The exposure that arm wrestling is going to get for this is going to be through the roof.
That's very cool.
It is. Oh, absolutely. I mean, you want exposure. What a better place to be is right where everything is happening. The main place is going to be on the Halifax Commons, where all the events, not all the events, but that's where the main thing is for the whole Aboriginal Games is on the Commons.
That's the main stage.
That's the main stage, and we'll be on it.
That's very cool.
So all your media will be there.
So it's like the Aboriginal Games, is that televised? Like, I guess the media will be
I
there
would
to
imagine
televise
like
it?
APTN will be televising it, and I'm not sure who else, but just the media, just to get on the news and stuff like that, is going to be huge.
So, just a little bit of shout outs and credit to, so Trevor Senpass, instrumental in Arm Nation,
Yep.
the television series.
Yes.
He was very instrumental in that.
Yep.
And now with this. So, what is your involvement going to be?
Well, I'm going to help facilitate the arm wrestling itself, making
Okay.
sure, we'll set up all the classes, get the classes all set up, help make sure it's going to run off, and then I was asked to be the head coach of the Nova Scotia team.
Okay.
So I'm pretty pumped about that.
That's cool.
I like you know what? I like refereeing, but I'd rather coach somebody.
This way you get to yell and cheer and
the thrill of getting up there and talking to somebody and showing them how to do something and watching them do that and getting a victory out of it is that's a great thrill.
so
Especially when you're talking with kids. You know what I
sure,
mean?
well, if the age limit is up to 21,
Yeah.
then yeah, this
I
is
mean, I'd call
for
them
you.
kids. They're 20 years old, young men and women.
Let's
But
see, well, your kids are way older.
yeah, my kids are double that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who is Trevor having come in to be referees, or is that with your
Well,
consultation?
Yeah, we'll bring in a bunch of referees from around Nova Scotia and possibly New Brunswick too. They've offered to help. So yeah, we'll probably run 3 tables, 2 tables, 3 tables. We'll see. We still got to work out those fine details. And so I mean we've got several qualified referees down here, so that won't be a problem. And so
Let's give a shout out. We have a real good level 3 referee, Rob McNamara.
level 2 right now. He'll get
Oh,
his
is he level 2?
He's level 2, but he'll get his level 3.
Yeah, makings of a real good referee.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
His demeanor at the table is great.
You know what, and he
knows his
he
rules.
knows his rules.
Yeah,
You're not going to argue with Rob over rules. He knows his rules very well.
it's still a pretty damn good arm wrestler.
Yeah, it's not bad for an old guy.
For
Yeah,
an old guy, yeah.
yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen to him when he reaches our age, but okay. So tell me the date on this again.
Oh, geez, I
July?
think it's July. I think it's 12th to 15th. It's like the arm wrestling is in there.
Okay.
I'd have to look it up.
So is it like a whole week long?
Yeah, it's a whole week long thing. Then the arm wrestling's going to be like the Thursday, Friday
Okay.
of the event.
So Halifax is going to be a buzzing place.
Halifax is going to be smoking hot then. Holy moly, 5,000. And that's just the athletes. 5,000 athletes are
Yeah,
expected.
never mind.
Then you got family, you got trainers, you got coaches, all the support people that go with it. Don't come to Halifax and expect to get a hotel room then.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
That's,
No, it's going to be booming. It's going to be great, And you get to, again, I mentioned this about, when I went to China, you get to see a culture. Well, here you go. You don't have to go far.
No,
And
it's
get
right here in your backyard.
get to experience a culture that's been around here for 13,000 years.
Yeah.
So, so that's going to be a great thing too. A lot of people, they don't know much about the Aboriginal customs
yeah.
and stuff like that, and that'll all be on display. So you'll be able to come down and check it out and check out some great arm wrestling.
Okay, so you're going to be the head coach of Team Nova Scotia?
Yeah.
So what is Trevor's involvement now?
He's just kind of
Is he an advisor or?
yeah, I guess so. I
Okay,
don't know
I'm
what his official title is, but
Okay.
yeah, he's kind of the runaround guy. He's trying to get everything, and he's working between me and the committee that's overlooking the whole Aboriginal games. Because you imagine, it's quite a committee. When we were in there, that we had a full room full of people. Both government, the Aboriginal community, city government, provincial government, federal government are all getting involved in this because it is such a big event.
And this is all of North America.
This is North America, yeah. So everybody out there, if you got Aboriginal arm wrestlers, bring them to Nova Scotia in July. You'll be able to check it out. I think they call it the NAG Games, NAIG Games, and North American Aboriginal Games.
That's cool.
Yeah, very cool. It's gonna be great.
That's a big coup for Trevor and for you, for Trevor to get this
Yeah.
brought in.
Yeah, and right now it's not really, it's sort of like a demonstration sport. So, and these Aboriginal games happen every 4 years. So hopefully the next one will be an official demonstration sport, and the time after that will be an actual sport.
So this particular year, 2020.
We're just kind of a showcase.
Okay, and then hopefully they like it.
They
want
move.
it's going to be a full medaled sport.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for.
That's
And
cool.
I think we'll put on a good enough display that they'll really enjoy it and see what the kids see in this. And I know we'll be seeing a lot of people coming from across the Maritimes, and enjoy themselves. And like I said, not a better place to put on, a display to show the world or show the media what arm wrestling's all about.
Oh, for sure. Now we just have to hope and pray that the weather.
Yeah, well,
It's
we
good.
do have a backup that they'll put us inside if the weather
Okay.
weather goes south on us. But yeah, I'll have our fingers crossed because it will be nice to be right out on the main stage and for everybody to see.
Well, that's very cool. So congratulations to Trevor Senepass for,
Absolutely, Trevor.
for getting that done, and congratulations on your involvement in RTV. And we'll have to get Trevor in here and talk him with us one of these times.
Yeah, we'll have to track him down.
That's right. All right, and that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in, and see you all next time. Thanks, Rick.
Yep.